Today, Kat and I are out in Bourbon, Illinois, which is pretty far south from us.
It is.
But so far, it seems really worth the trip. We're here checking out Bradley Liquors, and we've heard that they have a pretty decent selection of whiskey, so we're excited to go in and check it out.
Yeah, super excited. I'm wondering if they have any special bottles.
Yeah, let's go find out. All right. This is a nice, diverse selection so far.
It is.
They don't have a ton of scotch, which isn't a deal breaker.
They have a ton of different brands, though.
Yeah, maybe let's go to the end and start to highlight some of them.
Yeah.
So some of these in the corner are going to be a little bit harder to see. Let's see if we can just peek around there.
We have some Oldhamer.
That single barrel is really good.
It's so good.
And honestly, that's almost half price. $33 is really good for that.
Jack. I've never seen this Whiskey Smiths before.
We've seen it. We just always ignore it.
Yeah, banana flavored, if anyone's into that.
Yeah, no thank you.
Moving on.
Oh, we got early times.
Ooh.
That's your first like entry level tater bottle right there.
I mean, for $27, you can't beat it. $28.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for that price. And we got a lot of the Starlights, which honestly, those are pretty cheap, especially the Blackberry. And then we got the bottle of our favorite fellow YouTuber, Little Old Fashioned. There's no greater love story in the whiskey world than Evan Williams Bottled and Bond and our buddy over at Little Old Fashioned. So we got the Char 1 on the Buzzard's Roost. That's actually a really dark color.
It is.
For Char 1. Yeah. That's pretty dark.
That is dark.
I don't think we've tried that one yet.
No. We have the rye, right?
We have, yes, we have the rye.
We got a bunch of classic shelfers. I do see one shelfer that we don't see all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the Jack Daniel's number 7, which is the
anniversary edition, or the legacy edition.
Yeah.
I think this is the first one, legacy edition version 1.
I think so.
Yeah, these are good. We have a backup of it that we slowly sip because we never know when we're going to see it again. It's honestly very delicious.
Yeah.
If you like classic Jack Daniel's flavors, this takes all of that and kind of ramps it up a little bit. It's absolutely delicious. But in my opinion, not as good as these ones. These are phenomenal. Doc Swinson does a really, really good job of barrel finishing, and in my mind, it's MGP product that's used in a really good way. Especially this one, Sherry and Cognac. That seems like it would be a good substitute for a cigar blend.
Yeah, they definitely are doing super cool things at Doc Swinson. I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, so by now I'm sure you noticed that we're not doing the usual panning shots of all the stickers and everything like that. We're going to slightly move away from that. We figured a little bit more dialogue and interaction in real time is not only a lot easier to edit, but will give a little bit more of a dynamic feel. So there's some pretty good stuff. I mean, honestly, toasted barrel for that price.
I'm tempted by that.
Yeah, if we didn't already have a backup, I'd probably grab it. But these are actually crazy prices. I don't think I've seen this under 50 in a long time.
That's wild. Yeah, there are some hidden gems in here for the price point.
Let's focus on this one. Broken Barrel. That's a brand that we've seen quite a few times, but we don't really know anything about it. If you guys think that we're sleeping on it, let us know below in the chat.
Interesting.
Made with passion and purpose. I love propaganda. And how could we forget our favorite bourbon brand?
I mean, come on.
It's the pinnacle of Colorado whiskey.
The fact that it's just sitting on the shelf and no one's picked it up, I'm ashamed.
We're going to clear the shelf here today. And if it's not already apparent, we're being sarcastic. It's just not our favorite. This is one that doesn't really sit on shelves that much. The American Prairie.
You know, it is weird. I have seen a lot of High West on shelves lately.
Yeah, especially down here.
Yeah, and for $33 for
Yeah.
the American Prairie is such a low price.
Yeah, that's really good. They have a couple of the Four Roses special editions. Not the limited editions, but the special ones, like a single barrel. They also have the small batch select, which is really nice. I know some people really love those.
Yeah. We've been stuck drinking Michter's unblended for a while. It's just so good.
Yeah. It's really underrated, especially because they're basically recoupering a barrel and scraping out the inner char of their Michter's 10 bourbon and then recharring and then doing a second fill on that same barrel. You get a lot of like really condensed, kind of richer, sweeter notes. And again, at a low proof, I think it's 41%, 41.7.
Yeah, 41.7.
Yeah.
83.
It's kind of like a cocktail in a single pour.
It really is.
Yeah, we think that it's very close to an old fashioned, just minus the bitters. Mm-hmm. And of course, we got the old Granddad.
I mean, if you're still sleeping on this, what are you doing?
It's always a good deal. We absolutely love it.
$30. You can't beat it.
Then we got Starward,
We're getting into more like Illinois and like other parts of the.
branching out of Kentucky into other parts of the world and country.
Yeah. Starward somehow mixed in there, even though it's New Zealand.
Australia.
I always forget Australian, and it says it right on the label.
Sorry, New Zealand.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Australia also. But yeah, this one is very solid. It's kind of like a hybrid of like a wheated whiskey and a Japanese whiskey. If you like things like Hibiki, but you also like Weller, it's honestly a beautiful hybrid. And most of the time in our market, we see it for like $30 or less. If you can find it for that price, absolutely buy it. But in general, it's a really interesting pour.
I do see one that's pretty interesting, which is the Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn.
Yeah, so at first when I saw this, I thought that blue popcorn was like literally using popcorn. But after talking to our buddies over at Silver Tree Spirits, they let us know that blue popcorn is actually a specific type of corn. So it's not to be confused with using blue corn to make popcorn. I'm actually surprised these are still around.
I know, there's only 2 left on the shelf.
And then we do have a world whiskey section over here.
I do a nice canning shot of all of those.
Oh, you should also show them the Mexican whiskey.
Oh yeah, that one's super interesting. That one's hidden behind the pole. So
There's 2 different versions. I don't think we've seen Sierra Norte before.
no,
But the 2 versions are pretty cool. There's Native Oaxacan white corn and Native Oaxacan purple corn. I'm really interested by the purple corn, but I don't know what Mexican whiskey is going to taste like, with the exception of Abasolo. That's the only one that we've tried.
that one was like kind of ashy to me.
Yeah, it tasted like corn husk.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So yeah, we got a little peek around the corner here, and it looks like there's some more tater-friendly bottles over here. They do have a couple of gift packs as well. So they have like the Still Austin pack, the Templetons, and the now discontinued Jack Daniel's Rye. If you're a fan of this brand or this specific bottle and you haven't picked it up yet, grab it before it is off the market entirely.
Definitely.
And then, ooh, we didn't even
Ooh.
notice this one.
There's some balconies.
Balconies. I got a couple of RTDs.
Yeah. Fun ones mixed in there. Woodinville. If you haven't tried Woodinville, I would definitely recommend.
I think this is the only Castle and Key worth drinking. I do not feel bad about saying that.
Wow, this is quite a selection.
Yeah, wait until you see what's behind you. So we got basically all the standard Penelope releases, the new riffs, the Keeper's Heart. I heard that the Irish American Cask Strength is really good, or the Irish Bourbon Cask Strength's amazing, but we haven't tried it yet. This is one that doesn't really make it super far out of Michigan. We've only found it at a couple of different places, but if you haven't tried this yet and it's in your market, it's absolutely amazing.
good.
There's nothing like it. It tastes like tropical fruit. What do we say, like papaya and like those guava candies that you can find at like Asian restaurants on the way out?
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love it. It's a steal.
That instantly became like a shelfer.
Oh yeah, I think we've already gone through like two bottles. This is one that we haven't seen in a while. So we went to the, what is this called? What was that event?
World of Whiskey?
No, the NRA, not the gun convention, the National Restaurant Association. And they actually had this available to try. Wolf Moon, it's coming from Midwestern Grains, and I can't remember what state it's coming out of. But we got to try it. It looks like it is just MGP. They do have some of their own distillate, which wasn't bottled at the time. It was actually decent.
Yeah.
For $26, it's not going to blow you away, but it will keep you interested. Now, we've heard a lot of good things about the Three Floyds bottles that are releasing. Everyone that we talk to about it says that it's really good, but for whatever reason, we just haven't pulled the trigger on it.
I think the price point has been like one of the deterrents just from like a craft brand.
Yeah, but a bottle that we do think is amazing and that people are sleeping on is this 2XO French Oak. So it does have a lot of really awesome flavor to it. I got like a lot of vanilla undertone. It's a little oaky, but not over the top. I know not everybody's a huge fan of 2XO, but we've been following basically every release that's come out, including when Dixon Deadman was still doing Kentucky Owl. And this one is probably the most value that you can find on the shelf.
Definitely.
Ooh, that is finicky. And I see we got the Gentleman's Cut. It's a lesser known celebrity brand from Stephen Curry. I don't know anything about it, but people talk about it.
Some Nelsons as well, the Madeira casks. I've been seeing those more often.
Yeah, when we went down to Tennessee, they told us that it doesn't really leave the state, but I guess that's changed. And
Still seeing some Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, too.
And honestly, this is a really good deal.
Ooh.
$50 for the Still Austin cask strength?
Yeah, that's a steal.
Yeah, by us, this goes for a lot more.
And the bourbon for $55.
Yeah, that's honestly very solid. I think probably the biggest sleeper on the shelf is going to be the Old Man Winter.
Oh.
So every time we've seen this on a shelf or behind a case, it's been closer to like 180 or like 190 maybe. We've heard a lot of good things about it, and we've passed on it a couple of times. So Kat and I will probably have to talk about it off camera and see if it's worth picking up today.
See if it's coming home. We have been splurgy this month, so.
Yeah, and then there's a couple more items over here. So this is going to be like the kind of like the world whiskey and like more obscure, harder to find stuff.
If you're looking for any of those orphan barrels, they have a ton.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if anybody's tried the Offerman Edition Caribbean rum cask finish. We tried the charred oak and it just wasn't for us.
Yeah, it was way too smoky or peaty.
Yeah, and then we have some of the more higher end, like kind of mid-range bottles over here. There's a really nice selection, and some of these are under market value, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I'll put some over here for you if you want it.
Ooh. Also, if you're not picking up this one, it's asleep. You're sleeping as well.
Yeah, those typically don't leave the state anymore.
So good.
And I think they're also in really low distribution at this point. Like even Tennessee doesn't really have a lot of them. A lot of the Bardstowns, which is really nice.
Bunch of the smoke wagons.
We're not huge fans of Smoke Wagon, but originally when they came out, we kind of bit the hype train.
Yeah.
The
You have to
Uncut
try.
Unfiltered is easily the best release that we've tried from them.
Some Jack Daniels as well.
Some J. Henry. The 5-year for that price is pretty good.
Has anyone tried Big Stick? I always see it.
I've never seen Hoosier Gold before.
Yeah, same.
At least I don't think so. And then we have some more higher end bottles back here. And the owner just told us that he's got some stuff behind the counter that we'll check out in a moment. So we got a Thomas H. Handy. For $500 isn't the worst I've seen. That's a pretty decent price. Got a Lot B,
Yeah.
Pappy.
Go back up to those.
Ooh, I see a Master's Keep on this side.
Interesting. Macallan Harmony collection. They're all like
Ooh.
kind of sprinkled in here. I also see a Colonel H. Taylor barrel cut, barrel proof.
Barrel proof. A barrel proof bourbon. That's not a bad price. I've seen it go for a lot more on secondary.
$300.
Yeah. It's pretty decent. And which one is this one? This is the blend of Kentucky straight bourbon and rye whiskeys finished in rye casks. The Unforgotten.
Oh. That.
We might have to really talk off camera.
How often do you see that one?
Yeah, this one was one of our favorites. Or at least
That's
of the ones
crazy.
that we've tried. Yeah, that one's very tempting.
That is very tempting. All right.
Then we got the American Light Whiskey.
Yeah,
Is
the
there
new release
is
from
there
Penelope.
a price on it? I don't see a price. We'll have to ask and see if we can just splice the price in here over in text.
Bowman, if anyone's looking for the cast strength still.
We got Old Granddad 16.
I'm waiting for the price to go down by half.
Yeah, you put that at half price, I'll buy a case of it.
Remus Gatsby. Weller single barrel. There's some goodies
Yeah.
in here.
And then some of these are a lot closer to MSRP, which is nice because they're pretty hard to find.
Definitely.
Like the Old Overholt 11 year.
I'm seeing those more and more on
You get
shelves.
the wheat recipe and rye recipe.
It's actually a really good price. That's like MSRP.
Uh,
Close to it.
Maybe. Not sure for these ones. I always get confused with these because there's like the wheated, the rye recipe, the high rye. Like I kind of lose my attention span there. And then we got a stag over here. Which stag is this? Let me peek in. 23C. I don't think we tried that one.
I don't think so either.
And we got a Russell Single Rickhouse, Camp Nelson F.
Knob Creek 18.
As well as the Elijah Craig 18. And these are some of your more, a little bit approachable, like higher end tater bottles, like high to medium. Got the
Yeah.
Joseph Magnus for 100, which is actually a really good price. I'm so glad that we've seen that going down.
I know. Especially for like a nice starter for a cigar batch.
Yeah, absolutely. And then these actually make me really happy. The price of Eagle Rare has been going up slowly over time, so to see it at 65 is not too far off. I'm actually happy about that. And same thing here with the E.H. Taylor for only 60. That's really a decent price.
Yeah. And even Weller Special Reserve for 50. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Antique for 170 is kind of about the going rate for like trades and secondary, so that's not the worst. Buffalo Trace for 26. That's a good price.
Yeah. It's getting harder and harder. It's been so long since I've seen Weller Antique.
Especially on a shelf.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you have
A bunch
the J.
of-
Henry Ransom Bourbon.
Ooh.
We've never tried before.
Yeah.
I know that people love J. Henry and that people love like the Ransom like gins and things like that, but I've never seen this one on a shelf that I can remember.
$40. Yeah. I'd be interested to try it.
And then we have
Oh my gosh. Our favorite.
yeah, the world's best whiskey brand by far. There
So
are
good.
there are no better brands.
No. And you have to buy all of them.
Yeah.
You can't just buy one.
Yeah, you have to buy them all to keep each other company. And we have a couple of Nulus down here.
New
So we have a straight bourbon, a small batch, toasted barrel, and then you have a couple of Ben Holidays that are actually under market value.
Yeah.
Normally about 60, so 58 is a really good price for that.
Definitely. And Green River splashed in there. That's such a good shelfer.
Yeah. That's actually a really good price for both of them,
Yeah.
especially from a smaller scale store. All right, so we have a couple around the corner here. So we have, ooh,
Oh.
wow, he wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
These are the top tier, the
Oh, yeah.
creme de la creme.
23, a 20 year.
Yeah,
Pappy.
this is still our like white whale
I know.
for the Pappies. We want this one so badly, And every time that we see it on a shelf, it's either out of our price range or we ask for it for one of like the drawings or lotteries and we just don't get it.
I know, every time. And then I don't know much about the new, is this the new Boss Hog?
I don't keep up with the Boss Hogs too much. I consider this like one of those lifestyle brands, and I kind of just tune out on them.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this place was awesome.
Yeah, that was super unexpected. The amount of like insane bottles that they had, and I wasn't super mad about the prices either.
Yeah, some of them were a little bit higher.
A little higher.
But that's to kind of be expected in a smaller town. I mean, Bourbonnais isn't huge, but it's not incredibly tiny.
Yeah.
So we talked to the owner, and he gave us a little bit of wiggle room on the bottle that we got today.
Yeah.
And I mean, this has been one that we've thought about for a long time, but we've never seen it at a decent price. So today we're going home with the Unforgotten. And we haven't forgotten that this is our favorite. And today it is the first Master's Keep that we're putting on our shelf.
I know, it's such an exciting day. I'm very excited to put it on the shelf and try it out and give some samples as well.
Yeah, this is already shaping up to be an expensive month for April.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well guys, thank you so much for tuning into our video. If this is the first time that you've spotted us or our content, please subscribe. You'll find more content like this soon. We're definitely switching up our style a little bit, so for those of you that continue to follow us, thank you. We really appreciate you. Give the video a thumbs up if you like the content, and comment to let us know what you think we should have grabbed as well today. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.